guys. Okay, basically, I'll be real. This has been a long time in the making. I've always wanted to do this, but um, I'd say like I say to a degree, it took me a while to get here. Oftentimes, like if you're just like a regular guy, or whatever, you think like what you have to say doesn't really hold weight. Doesn't really have like I wouldn't say value, but like it's not polarizing. Like you don't see yourself as one of these polarizing figures. And I'd say for me, this is something I always wanted to do. Whether just talking to the camera like I am right now. Um, I've always seen like other people do this like over the years on YouTube and whatnot. Like you know those random videos like that be captioning stuff like um what's it called? Like when you find this you'll know, or like stuff like that, you know? Like one of those weird ones where it's just like it finds you at the right moment. And I guess for me there's some things I left unsaid over the years that I just wanted like to find a space and to vent and like express myself. And I'd say this part of my journey now, I'd call it like speaking things into existence. And not only that, but not being afraid to document the journey and hopefully inspire others along the way. Now, um, this past year, I returned to Substack, which was something is like a blog platform, um, with like a new perspective or like a new motivation. For me, the main goal was, I'd say, just chasing the uncomfortable. And for me, that was self-expression. For years, I struggled with it and like just truly like express myself, be myself, and just being vocal, like more expressive. I don't know if you guys would relate to it, but like for me, like I've always somewhat had to be like somewhat emotionally guarded or inexpressive in a way to just like survive, whereas my upbringing, my environments, etc. Like oftentimes either like you express yourself and get your feelings trampled on, or you oppress yourself out of protective measures rather than like a fear of an expression. Well, you can say it's a fear of an expression, but yeah. But yeah, this past year, I'd say Substack was my choice form of exposure therapy, and in many ways, it got me comfortable with expressing myself to a degree, emotionally, all aspects. Um, yeah, in ways I somewhat found my voice from a literal sense from writing, but now this is the next part to that the other side of the coin, which is me facing the camera, even though I keep looking away, and just yapping, just expressing myself, just speaking, you know. Um, yeah. As of now, it is. I don't know if you can see that. Wednesday, 21st of January, 2026, at 11:13. Why am I doing this so late? I can't sleep. There's a lot going on right now, and there's no better time than there's no better time than present, to be honest. And I was meant to do this video like 3 days ago, but procrastination and with me, low key, I kind of have to catch myself off guard to like do things I find uncomfortable, which is making this video. But hopefully over this process, however long it takes, um, I'll get comfortable with this also, and then we'll just keep going from there. But um, I don't know if I said my name, but my name's Richie. On most platforms, we go by Richie has spoken. And I primarily write poetry, but I do dabble. And I am writing a novel with like romantic undertones, but mainly just like on the 20-something-year-old human experience from a dual perspective, from a young man's perspective and a young woman's perspective. That's on my Substack. That's currently like the first draft process. That I post occasional chapters and whatnot on there. And outside of that, I like write reflections that I call rambles because, well, personal essays that I call rambles because I feel like an essay to a degree I have some kind of trauma associated with that from high school and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I call them. I call them rambles. For others, it might seem like, oh, like he's really articulate. But oftentimes, that's just how I mentally process things. And a lot of it's just stream of consciousness, really. Not really planned, not really like structured and thought out, but just deeply human. And I guess that's one of my main focuses of this channel. It's just raw human expression. No like super fancy edits, none of that like super like manicured images and whatnot. Just me. And whether this does 1,000, 1,000,000 views on like the channel, not this video, fuck no, sorry, but whether this does like for 50 views, 5 views, or I don't know. Well, I don't really care about numbers. This is just for me and the next step of my journey. What's next? I don't know, but we'll see. I have dabbled with making poetry videos this past year, but you probably see on the short side of my channel, but I'll post it on like the main channel also, like a regular video. But yeah, but I have a lot of ideas that I want to be for this channel, whether it's like some of my personal essays in like audio format on here, reflections, rambles, whatever, call it personal essays, whatever, more poetry content, and generally just me talking to the camera. Yeah, but as of now, I don't know if I look at you or not, but I'm 24. But yeah, this is just the next stepping stone in my journey. Whether I become an author this year or a published author this year, next year, or whenever that happens, I'll be going through that process with you guys too. But ultimately, this is the next step, and yeah. What's funny though, right? Like initially, when it came to like jumping back on this journey, I'd say there's a lot of fear involved, and it's just like, you know, when you live for so long in fear of like avoiding like being fully transparent, of like avoiding one certain thing, it's like you turn and realize like, why am I running for so long? Am I gonna run my whole life and stuff? So the moment I decided to just flip that switch and just chase it rather than let it chase me, I'd say I started growing and improving for the better. Yeah. Also, my Substack, I had a Substack from 2022, right? But I wasn't really ready to like to truly what's it called? Be transparent back then. Like I still somewhat like timid, still somewhat just wasn't ready. It wasn't time. But yeah, a lot of things that I'll probably speak about at a later point really pushed me to this. And regardless of whether the cards may fall, I'm grateful for that. And yeah. As of now, let me check. As of now, my whoa. My Substack went from 18 back in what's it called? Start of December 2020, no, January 2025. And then now it's at You can see that. But it's at 1,538. And yeah, which is crazy thinking about. But um, the old me would have definitely got stage fright. But I'd say I'm becoming more fearless. More fearless. It might help that only like maybe a small amount of people know about it than in person, like in real life. But yeah, I don't try thinking about that too much. Um, but yeah, I think I've said everything I plan to say. But if you're gonna join me in this journey, whether it's from the beginning now or 6 months from now, or maybe like you'll stumble upon my channel, like what's it called, 5 years later, 10 years later, maybe it's just me just going back and just like um watching back again. Um, thankful thankful joining me in the ride, you know, and yeah, that's me. That's all from me. Um, also this is gonna help me be more articulate and just I don't know, just be more comfortable being raw. I'd say like in this day and age, with everything being so highly edited, manicured, etc., it's like everything to a degree to performance. It's not any like it's not raw and like you know, it's not raw, messy and like um real as it was in the past. And I guess this is a form of quiet rebellion for me, and hopefully it'll inspire others to do the same. There's no fancy background. This is just me in my living room. Um, but that clock doesn't even have fresh batteries in it. I don't know what time it's at now. What time is it? 10:09, almost 9:40 on there. But yeah, clearly that's way off. But yeah. If you have watched this video through the end, thank you for watching. I'm probably gonna link my Substack, Instagram, and all the other jazz, but my Substack's the main one. I don't really be active on Instagram. Maybe this will inspire me to also, but yeah. Thank you for watching.